disappointment. My mom started crying, saying they were just trying to be realistic with me, that they didn't want me to get my hopes up and be disappointed when I couldn't achieve what Jake could, that it came from a place of love. I laughed in her face, asked, "What kind of love makes you tell your kid they're a failure? What kind of love makes you take down their photos and pretend they don't exist?" Jake tried to steer the conversation back to his problems, the special assessment on his second house that he can't afford, the fact that his bosses now know he lied about being in bosses, now know he lied about being an only child, how he is worried about his position at the firm. I told him I didn't give about his problems, that maybe he should ask our parents for help since he's their only son and all. My dad cleared his throat and said they couldn't help Jake because they were having their own financial issues. The commercial properties their retirement fund was invested in were being restructured, and they were looking at significant losses. Looked at me with this pleading expression and asked if there was anything I could do to help them. I asked why I would help people who have spent my entire life treating me like garbage. My mom started in with some about being thicker than water and family sticking together in tough times. I pulled out my wallet and tossed $70 on the table. Told my dad that maybe he should finally do something with his life. The look on his face when his own words came back at him was priceless. He stood up so fast his chair fell backward. Started yelling that I had no right to speak to him that way, that I was being cruel and childish. People in the coffee shop were staring. The barista looked like she was about to call someone. I stayed completely calm and told him to sit down or leave, that I wasn't the one making a scene. He sat down red-faced and shaking. My mom tried a different approach, saying she was sorry if their parenting made me feel less valued, that they always wanted what was best for me, that they were proud of my success. I asked why they were proud now when they'd spent years being embarrassed by me. Was it just because I had money now? Because I could help them with their financial problems? Where was this pride when I was working construction? I got my license when I bought my first house. Jake jumped in saying we needed to stop dwelling on the past and figure out solutions, that he was willing to apologize if that's what I wanted, but he needed help with the assessment or he'd lose his house. I told him there were 3 options. Pay the $87,000 assessment, sell the house back to my company at a loss. Let the house go into foreclosure. He asked if I could make an exception for him. I said no, business is business. My dad slammed his hand on the table and asked what kind of son does this to his family. I told him I learned from the best from parents who learned from the best from parents who taught their son it was okay to treat people like if they didn't meet your expectations. My mom started sobbing, saying this wasn't the boy they raised. I told her she was right. I wasn't the boy they raised anymore. I was the man who survived their constant criticism and emotional abuse, who succeeded despite them, not because of them. He tried one more angle, saying he knew some things about my business partner Mitch that could cause problems if they got out, that maybe we could help each other. I just laughed and called Mitch right there on speakerphone. Told him Jake was threatening to spread rumors about him if I didn't help with the assessment. Mitch asked if Jake realized that blackmail is a crime, that we have lawyers for this kind of thing. Jake went pale and started backpedaling, saying he was just desperate and didn't mean it as a threat. Mitch said he understood, but suggested Jake should think very carefully about his next move. Then he hung up. The table was silent for a long minute. Then my dad asked very quietly what I wanted from them, if this was all about revenge or if there was something they could do to make things right. I told them I didn't want anything from them, that I'd spent years trying to earn their approval and respect, and now I didn't care if I had it or not. The assessment on Jake's house was happening regardless, and their retirement fund was going to take a hit,